Hello, my name is Maria Lucia, and this is all about my time with SIUE in El Salvador. Just a little bit about me and my wife for teaching. I am an adopted girl from Guatemala, and my whole reason to be a teacher is because I was blessed with an education, and so I want to give that education back to others. Just a little brief summary of the mission for El Salvador. We traveled to the University of Barrios in El Salvador under the supervision of Dr. Barbara Martin and Dr. Barbara O'Donnell, and they addressed language, culture, and cross-cultural experiences. And we partnered with UGB teacher candidates in their English department, and we attended English and Spanish classes. We went to Salvadorian preschool to high schools. We participated in cultural events, and we visited historical sites, and also you had the opportunity to take this for a history credit or an ELL credit, and I took it as an ELL credit. This was our travel group. From left to right was Maddie, Sam, then Nick, then me, then Rachel, then Caitlin, then Claire, then Christina. First off, let's look at what we participated in the University of Barrios on the San Miguel campus. First, we participated in their cultural festival. Here the Salvadorians showed us their different types of dances, foods, drinks, and folk tales as well. We also presented American culture as well. That is what you can see our presentation on the left. In the middle, you can see Caitlin speaking about American culture and different places that she's been in the United States, since we have so many regions. And on the right, we taught them a dance, the electric slide or the cha-cha slide, and they had a great time with it. It was so fun to see them really give their best shot at learning one of our popular American dances. We also participated in a book fair in San Miguel. So each of us, each one of the SIUE students was placed with a group from El Salvador. And so my group covered Beauty and the Beast, Christina's group in the middle covered The Hunger Games, and Maddie's group on the right covered Hunchback of Notre Dame. Other books were covered like Alice in Wonderland, Wizard of Oz, and the series 13 Reasons Why. The students really went all out. They made beautiful presentations about their books, and there were prizes at the end, and I do believe that Christina's group in the middle did win the overall champion prize. We did go to classes when we were in El Salvador, and so in addition to attending some of their classes, Dr. O'Donnell gave a presentation about using literacy, not only in using books in not only literature classes, but also using books in all your classes and how you can extend reading in all subjects, math, social studies, and science as well. So you can see her discussing the goals of her presentation, and then on the right you can see an SIUE student, Rachel, reading to a group of El Salvadorian students and walking them through the objectives and the goals for the project. We also visited the other site of UGB at the Usulatan campus. Alrighty, and so time for class, we went to a an English class, an English for tourism class, and we made a bunch of new friends, so we decided to take a picture. But my group, Christina and I, were in a group together. We discussed how to create activities for students to learn vocabulary to be used in airports, like suitcases, passports, asking for directions and such like that. So we played charades, we did headbands, we did hangman, so that way the students would be more engaged whenever they are walking through those activities with them. We also participated in their cultural fest as well, so we learned about the history, we learned more dancing, and we learned about the traditions and holidays of El Salvador as well. As you can see, Christina's in the middle dancing and learning how to do, I think they were doing, I don't want to say the wrong thing. And on the left, Spencer and Dr. Martin were receiving a history lesson about El Salvador. And then on the right, Dr. O'Donnell, Sam, and Maddie were learning about, again, the cultures and traditions and holidays of El Salvador. We also completed a cultural fest at the Usulatan campus as well. So we talked about the United States of America, and we talked about regions. So Christina and I we all created a poster to talk about our regions, for example, like the Midwest, Southeast, Northwest, etc. And so all about the Midwest, we drew things that represented our region. So we drew cows that jumped over the moon, the giant bean, the arch. People like to go camping, play football. And I drew a cardinal, which I was told by many students it looked like a parrot, so that was okay. Alrighty, and then this was a picture at the end. We did engagement activities whenever we were discussing our regions. So if they won the activity, like Simon Says, I Spy, or Duck Duck Goose, they received a t-shirt, and then at the end, those that didn't participate were welcome to come up and grab SIUE swag gear as well. Alrighty, and also it was such a treat, the UGB Usulatan campus, they performed an English play, and it was so interesting to watch. They did such a good job. They truly grasped like the old English style of speaking, and their acting skills were pretty good. Now I'm going to be talking about visiting the local schools, and like we already addressed when we were talking about the mission, we visited elementary and high schools as well. So we interacted with students and staff, so you can see Nicholas, he is addressing a high school class and telling them a little bit about our region and where we're from, and you can see Dr. O'Donnell with a staff member, and they were just so welcoming and kind, so it was nice to see. Spencer is Dr. Martin's son, and he was able to donate soccer cleats to the children on the left, and they really appreciated it. We also donated t-shirts as well. And then on the right, Spencer also continued to donate soccer balls to this high school for boys, and they loved him. They thought that was the greatest thing, so it was really nice to see him interacting with El Salvadorian students. Even though the language barrier did exist, it was really sweet to see. We also explored further doing tours. So like I said, that the trip offered the trip offered history and history credits as well. So we did visit the highest point in El Salvador, and we also visited the Mayan ancient ruined temples, and it was really nice because my family is indigenous Maya, so this was pretty important to me, and it felt a little more significant to me whenever we visited. In addition, we also learned more about the Civil War that occurred in El Salvador. So we went to a museum, and we went to a historical land site, and it's called El Mazote, and it was so tragic to hear what occurred in that town, and so I purchased a book so that way I can hopefully learn a little bit more as well while I'm here. As I said, I took this class for the ELL endorsement, for my ELL endorsement, so here are some takeaways I learned when speaking with the El Salvadorian students who were trying to learn English. It's important to recognize and celebrate student backgrounds. I am going to be teaching in a school in St. Louis, which is population is over half Hispanic, and 37% are not proficient in English, so I am excited to meet them and to celebrate their cultures and make sure that they know that they are welcome in my classroom. In addition, I learned that I need to make sure I differentiate and meet each student where they're at, because every student has a different level in English. So by doing differentiation, I also need to accommodate. So number 3, I recognize that I talk pretty fast when I get excited, so I need to make sure that I modify my verbal pacing and slow down, so that way the students can catch everything that I'm saying. And also I need to accompany this with visual representations in the classroom, and write down phrases that I say. And last but not least, I want to say thank you so much to the staff and students of the Universidad de Gerardo Barrios, and I hope to see you all again soon. Thank you so much, everybody. How do I stop?